Are we now? A, B. Alright, back for episode 3. Today's theme, we have a theme. It's family recipes. Whose family recipes? Mine. You knew that because I pointed at myself before I said that. So, today I'll be cooking my uncle's world famous, according to my family, pasta Italian meat sauce, a bolognese, I guess. He sent me the recipe. My mom's pissed because she's been asking him for the recipe for years. He won't give it to her, and I texted him. He's like, yeah, here it is, right here. Just sent it to me in like 2 minutes. You know, I'm the favorite of my family. Obviously, look at me, listen to me, talk to me, you know what it is. We're gonna be making my grandma's peanut butter fudge. I remember loving this shit when I was a kid. But also, here's the thing, my mom, bless her soul, love my mom, maybe one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever had, which is this family recipe book. But it's like, these recipes are so vague. Instead of like an actual temperature for the candy, it's like stir for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do my best, make it delicious, live up to Grandma Margie's standards, God rest her soul, and yeah, we'll get going. The original recipe called for like 2 pounds of beef. I substituted 1 pound of beef, 80-20, grass-fed for more gamey beef flavor. And I substituted half of it for sweet Italian sausage, which I will take out of the casing and fry up. It has a lot of fat, and the pork's nice to mix with the beef, and then also just like the Italian seasoning. I'm adding some soppressata. It's kind of like a pepperoni, hot salami. I'm basically gonna chop this up and use the fat kind of to fry everything, and it'll just kind of flavor through the whole dish. This wasn't part of the recipe either. The rest is pretty par for the course. Some canned, crushed, my uncle insisted crushed or pureed tomatoes. San Marzano is what I would go with. Instead of a mirepoix, we're using the Trinity. So a mirepoix is gonna be carrots, onions, and celery. The Trinity is celery, onions, and green bell pepper, which is a Cajun thing. I don't know how it ended up in this dish, but it did, and we'll see how it turns out. Other than that, I got garlic, crushed red pepper flakes as always. We got Parmesan for the top. Nice nutty. I bought it because it smelled better than the pecorino. For the pasta, orchetti, or little ears, they pick up the sauce, the chunky sauce, while they go good with chunky sauces. Into the fudge. Again, like I said, very arbitrary recipe. A pint jar of marshmallow fluff, which I think is 2 small jars. So we're gonna figure that out. 2 cups of peanut butter. My grandma did not use organic, like separates at the top peanut butter. Sugar, obviously sugar's gonna go in the pasta sauce as well, just for a little, bounce out the tomatoes. Evaporated milk, and then butter, and obviously I'm gonna go with unsalted. And I forgot to bring it out, but vanilla extract is gonna go in this as well. And you'll see that when I get to going. Let's get started, I'm excited. Today I get to play with a new toy. I got a food processor. Basically for this bolognese, meat sauce, whatever the fuck we want to call it, I'm calling it pasta sauce, you know, because that's what we call it in my family. So it's not going to be a ton of prep. I'm basically just going to take the tops and the ends off the celery, chop it, throw it in, and then kind of do the same with a bell pepper. What the fuck? Crazy ass bell pepper. Basically, the best way to do it if you want it to be straight is to chop the top and the bottom off, and then you can kind of like rip the middle out. You want to cut away from yourself like I'm not doing. I'm gonna throw this much bell pepper in. And then some onion. I may go a little heavier on the onion than I should, but I think we're sensing a theme in how I like to cook. Isn't that pain-free? You know, I'm gonna do 2 cloves of garlic. I was told to use 1, but Jesus Christ, that's a big thing of garlic. You know, I got this garlic from Walmart. It's probably so like GMO'd out. Who knows? Like, it's probably got like fucking seaweed genes in it and shit, making it grow all crazy. Cool. So I'm basically gonna puree this down or pulse it. Fuck is wrong with this piece of bell pepper? Fucking Christ. All right, it's gonna go now. Yeah, you want it to be like kind of a fine, almost like paste, no big chunks, because you want it to cook down in the sauce. It smells like a bunch of chopped up vegetables. It's delicious. I wouldn't eat it raw, but no. Well, I'm gonna open this and try some because it looks really good. Here's bomb. Chop this up, you know, kind of like pretty finely because I want it to like flavor the sauce but kind of break down in the sauce. Stuff's slippery, so be careful. Let's go over to the stove, using a Dutch oven as always, and let's get to cooking. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. When the olive oil gets less viscous, it's hot. This has been heating up for a few minutes, so I think it's time to go. So start with the beef, squeeze it out. It's gonna break down in the sauce as it simmers down for a few hours, but obviously, you know, it'll cook faster and brown more evenly if it's broken up now. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of salt to this, but the sausage is gonna have a lot of salt and seasoning in it as well, so I don't need to add a ton. You really wanna make sure that your pan is like scorching hot for this because you can't really burn ground beef, but you can like steam it by accident if you don't have your pot hot enough. You know, Italian food isn't necessarily my specialty, but I think it is a type of cuisine that if you have good basics, you can do well. Just don't fuck with it after you get it all in there. Let it kind of build a crust and chill. I would say give it like, I don't know, 5 minutes and we'll get back to it. Uncle Chris, he's the man. I have a bunch of stories about him. I can't really say a lot of them on camera. He's just like, he's my dad's brother. He's funny, very funny guy. I don't know what to tell you about Chris. He's cool. Look how much fat came off the beef and the sausage. A fucking ton. You want some of this because it's super flavorful, but you also don't want like an oil slick on the top of your sauce. Ow, fuck. Be careful with this step. I burned myself twice already, and I'm the fucking professional here. Oh, shit. I'm gonna pour the fat off, except I wanna leave a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon, so I'm gonna add a tiny bit back in. I'm going to grab my thing of veggies and my soppressata. Let it kind of crisp up and render down. Add some nice fat. Now it's probably a good time to add my crushed red pepper flakes. As always, you wanna bloom your spices in oil. It's a lot of sauce, so I'm gonna add a lot of red pepper flakes and some black peppers. Stir that around. It smells delicious. I don't want this to burn, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the veggies in now. They have a lot of water in them, which is totally fine. Shit. I'm getting the hang of this food processor thingy. Oh, god damn it. This fucking piece of bell pepper didn't want to break up, so I'm gonna take him out. It's fucking bullshit. I'm gonna add the meat back in now. Mix all that together. And then I'm gonna add 3 cans of crushed tomatoes. This is a lot of sauce, but I think the idea is to make a bunch and then freeze it. Obviously you wanna let it come to room temperature before you decide to freeze it, but you can put it in like gallon bags or whatever. Yeah, he told me that it's only good after you like let it sit for 2 days and then reheat it in the refrigerator, so I hope it's good today because our special guest is involved with a very well-known Italian restaurant in LA called The Nice Guy. So he'll be able to give me an honest feedback on whether or not this shit sucks or if it's actually good. And then the last thing is I need to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. It's kind of like a classic like Italian-American thing to add some sugar to counteract the acidity of the tomatoes and hopefully make it a little more well-rounded. Woo! Now I'm ready to cook. Not ready to eat. You know, I need some guests who like actually know what's going on, because I feel like Briss was good, but I feel like he kind of like could have rated me higher. It's fine. You know, I was talking to my producer one time about, I made a joke and she didn't think it was funny, and I was like, you know, my employees think it's funny. She's like, yeah, I bet you they fucking do think it's funny because you sign their fucking paychecks. So I was like, you know, it's hard taking round 2 people's opinion without a grain of salt, you know.
This tastes like something my mom used to force me to eat when I was a kid.
It's come up to a boil, the tomato sauce. You want to definitely stir it. Make sure it's not burning at the bottom. I'm going to turn down to low. And then I'm going to just cover it. I'll probably check it every 20, 30 minutes, stir it, make sure the bottom's not sticking. But it'll be good to go. Cook this for 2-3 hours. Supposed to cook it all day. Who the fuck has time for that? And it's 2020. Good. Let's go. Cool, so we're gonna start on the peanut butter fudge. This is one of those things that I haven't made before, but from my understanding, it starts going fast when it gets going, so I'm just gonna kind of do some prep. First things first, I'm gonna grease an 8x8 dish. Make sure you get the corners. Make sure you don't grease the floor so you kill yourself. So, 3 cups of sugar. Cool. Next thing is the jet puff. I think I'm gonna Pam this so it comes out easier. And I'm Pam that too. Yeah, see, this is like a pain in the ass. I wouldn't want to be doing this when there's like hot sugar on the stove. Cause it's a ticking time bomb, guys. One false move and fudge is ruined. You got a big block of carbon. Cool, probably ate half of it. Oh my God, it's fucking everywhere. That stuff is a menace to society. Dude, God damn it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ! Jiminy Christmas. No, I'm gonna Pam this bitch up too. Cause I got fucking peanut butter coming. 2 cups of it. Pour up 2 cups. Stick in a half of butter, which is 12 tablespoons. Boom. And just gotta crack this evaporated milk and we can get started. I got a saucepan ready to go over there. This is some fucking World War II shit, this evaporated milk. So cute. Mercedes over there being cute. I get to live with it every day. All right, onwards and upwards to the stove. So I added 3 cups of sugar, 1.5 sticks of butter, and a can of evaporated milk. So basically, yeah, you wanna stir all this together, let the butter melt. You know, you want the sugar to get hydrated. Let it come to a boil, and then you wanna let it boil for 5 minutes. You gotta stir constantly so it doesn't stick. You know, I don't cook, I have a sweet tooth, but I don't cook a lot of sweets necessarily. It's kind of like uncharted territory for me, but it's not rocket science. Figure it out. I'm gonna have my reference nearby. It doesn't tell me whether or not to do this. Fuck, this recipe is so vague. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, she was tight, man. She would always cook me these crazy grilled cheese sandwiches, which I'll probably cook one day, which she made with like just Velveeta and this really weird like sandwich bread. And she would like burn them damn near, but they were really good, tasty. This is like one of the few things she would actually cook for me. She also made a really famous mashed potato recipe, which I will share with you guys one day. She loved white wine, drank a couple bottles of it a day. One time we had her over for Mother's Day and we had to carry her to her car, or I guess she wasn't driving, she was driving in Chris's car, but yeah, they had to carry her to the car. She lived to be like 99, drank white wine till the day she was gone, I'm pretty sure. She was amazing, beautiful woman, beautiful soul. Man, she liked me, I don't know, she was nice to everybody, she was nice to me. It's coming to what I would consider a rolling boil, so I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes and we're gonna stir. Be careful with this though, because it gets hot as shit and it's like lava. It'll like napalm, it'll like stick to your fucking skin, burn through it. How much to stick your finger in there, Bram? 50 bucks? 80 bucks? If we get 2,000 comments on this video, Graham will stick his finger in a vat of hot candy next episode. So I'm gonna remove it from the heat now that it's been 5 minutes, and I'm gonna add in the jet puff, stir that in, and the peanut butter. It's starting to smell really good. Also add a little vanilla extract, teaspoonish, and I think this is the hard part, is kind of getting it all stirred in together, because it's gonna start to coagulate pretty quickly. It smells right. Obviously we'll see if it turns out right. But I remember this smell from my childhood. Tastes good. I think it's right. Obviously, time will tell. Let's add this motherfucker in. I would say get as much out as you can while it's still hot, because as it crystallizes, it'll be harder and harder to wash out of the pan. I think it's gonna be good as it cools because it's falling apart already. Hey, you wanna try some, Graham?
That's really fucking good.
Good, right? All right. This is hot, but I'm gonna get it over to the table to cool. It's loosened up a lot. Meat's starting to break down in the braise. I'm gonna turn it down to low, just so it doesn't scorch. But it looks good. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to leave it covered or uncovered, actually. So I'm gonna FaceTime Chris and see if he picks up, and then. Oh, Uncle Chris.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm here. We're filming for the cooking show.
Oh yeah, hey.
We're doing the sauce you sent me the recipe of with some changed some things in it.
Okay.
But am I supposed to cook it uncovered or covered?
Either way, you might go half and half.
That's a good plan. Okay. I did Marge's peanut butter fudge too.
You did.
Yeah, I don't know if it turned out good yet though. It's still cooling.
I don't remember that. She never made that for me.
Well, she made it for me.
Only made it for her favorite grandson.
Exactly.
She was something else, wasn't she?
Truly.
Mess.
Where'd you get the recipe?
From the lady at the restaurant.
Oh, it was a restaurant in Waynesboro?
Yeah, the G&H restaurants. They bring it out on a damn turkey platter. It was a running joke up there about how much I could put away.
So wait, how long ago did you get it? Like, how long have you been cooking it?
Probably 20 years, maybe 25.
Okay. Graham wants to know, do you have any stories about me when I was a kid? Is that what you're asking?
You know, I just remember some of the things at Christmas time when you'd be, basically Marge would have a fit when you got that special T-shirt that we all remember.
I have that. I have one of those T-shirts actually. Hey, let me go get it. Hold on. All right, here's the shirt.
Good Bushman.
She was pissed.
She was very pissed.
So what's the story? I was like 10 years old, and then Uncle Drew gave me this shirt, right, for Christmas.
Exactly. She thought it was obscene. She didn't like the message at all. She gave Drew hell for giving it to you because she thought, you were innocent and didn't know what it meant. That you were being corrupted by your Uncle Drew. But it was hilarious.
Little did she know. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Chris.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
While we're up here, let me show you a couple things in my stash that maybe you guys should have bought off the vintage website, vintagebyround2.com, but you were fucking sleeping. This one, thought this was gonna sell ASAP. Didn't sell. Guess who bought it? Me. Salvador Dali. Every fucking kid who's done acid once, favorite painter ever. You be doing acid, right, Graham? This is cool. I have this one. I don't know. Ampelang? Who the fuck's getting dick piercings, dude? It's crazy. Dachshund shirt. Little like Tom of Finland. Barbara Kruger. Good stuff. We got Einstein here. Rap tee. UB40 paper thin. Perfect. Ooh, first anniversary. Round 2 shirt. We were selling Supreme, and they had the world famous as like one of their like logos, and we were in Jackson Ward, and everyone in the neighborhood knew us, so we said we were Ward famous. A little inside joke. The RIP Luke Mook shirt that I had Shirt King make me like 3 years ago. Bad juju. But yeah, this is from when Austin killed me. Good stuff. It looks a lot like me. That's all for now. That's all you're gonna get out of me. Oh, so it's been a couple hours. Sauce is still going. I've been stirring it. It's reduced down a lot. The meat's broken up into meat sauce-like consistency. Next, we're going to slice the fudge now that it's nice and cool. It looks pretty good from right here. I'll give it a slice of roux. I think this crumble isn't necessarily what I want. I think I could have cooked the sugar a little longer, maybe not as long. You know, I think I probably would have got it right if I had a candy thermometer and shit, but you know, it was all fucking speculation. But the flavor's there. Just like I remember. I'm gonna give it flavor, 9 out of 10. Texture, 6 out of 10. This is fucking good. Dense, rich, sweet but not too sweet. It's good. R.I.P. Grandma Margie. I'm about to have the biggest stomach ache in my fucking life. You know this goddamn fudge. So I'm getting water for the pasta. I'm gonna fill it up like maybe a quarter of the way. I feel like this is gonna be ready to boil in like 2 minutes. Who else eats dry pasta? Good stuff. If you can help it get bronze cut pasta because it makes like the surface of the pasta a little rougher than the titanium ones, and it helps hold on to the sauce. Look at this fucking rainbow rose. Can you believe what they're doing with fucking GMOs these days? It's almost to a boil. I'm gonna add the salt. You want it salty like the sea, is what they always say, like, because that's where you're gonna get the salt, season your pasta, but you want to salt it after it comes to a boil because it affects how long it takes to boil if you put the salt in first. All right, it's boiling. Now I let that boil for like, I'll check in like 10 minutes and see if it still has some tooth or al dente, as they say. That is the stanky leg. Watch the fucking music video. That's the stanky leg. So the pasta's been boiling for like 10 minutes. I just checked it. It's like almost done, but still has a little bit of tooth to it. So I'm gonna save some of the pasta water for the sauce. Put that to the side. I'm gonna pour this shit in the fucking colander. I'm trying to burn myself. So I'm gonna throw the pasta back in. I'm gonna add a good amount of the sauce in. Cool. And then a little bit of the pasta water, which is gonna be mad starchy and help all this kind of like incorporate into each other. And the pasta will continue to cook for a minute with carryover heat, and then it'll still hopefully absorb some of the tomato sauce. And I'm actually gonna turn the heat off that now, and I'll taste. Boom. I'm gonna sprinkle in maybe like 1 or 2 handfuls, like half of the Parmesan. And then I'm gonna add a little bit to the top when we're ready. And I think we are ready to plate this all up. We're all done. We have the peanut butter fudge from Marge and the meat sauce with orchetti from Chris. And wait, what was that? Oh, hey. My good friend Zach. How are you?
I'm good. I was in the neighborhood, and I know you've been doing this cooking thing, so right around dinner time, I thought I'd stop by.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So today we have some like family recipes that my family back in Virginia cooked when I was a child, and I'm trying to like see if they're still good.
A classic Virginia Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
Without any Italian in my family.
Yeah.
Try them. Let me know how they are.
I don't know if they can tell it's steaming hot and looks great. I don't know if you knew that this is my favorite kind of noodle.
Is it really?
Yeah.
They're good. They have orchetti and nice guy?
I wish.
All right, I'm gonna give it, I think I did better than I thought I was going to. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Mine ranks a little back because usually I don't eat red sauce pasta.
Really?
I'm more like cacio e pepe,
Uh-huh.
like cheese or pesto or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a red pasta that I would definitely order.
Okay.
So I'll go with like a soft 9.
Okay, I'll take that soft 9. Thank you. Cool, and then we have peanut butter fudge. I overcooked it, it's a little crumbly, but you know, the flavor's there, I think.
Definitely flavorful. What, you give it a 9?
Uh-huh, I did.
Yeah, I give it like 8.5.
Okay, I'll take that.
It's great.
Awesome.
Also, I usually don't eat peanut butter, so this is like...
Really? You're not allergic, are you?
No.
Like throw you in the fucking gauntlet.
I'm not allergic to anything.
Good. You know, I'm sure you get this question all the fucking time. It's like, what do you actually do? Like, I've known you for what, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
When you're still at USC.
You knew when I was living on the corner of the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Next block over.
So you know, it's been cool. It's definitely been cool seeing you like come up and all the amazing things you've accomplished. Even like back home in Virginia or wherever will ask me like, what does that do?
Mm-hmm.
And I think my synopsis is like the nicest club promoter I've ever met who was able to capitalize on all the amazing opportunities that LA has to offer if you know the right people.
Yeah, I think I was like promoting the club for like a year and a half, and then I was like, okay, cool, like let me use this to do other things, and then like I started to stop like just being at the club every night in like that sense. Mm-hmm. By being friends with people and like helping them behind the scenes, like I was always in the studio with people, I was always helping put like shoots together for shit, and I was like, let me do my own brand, let me do the label, let me do all these fun things.
Because I know with H Wood you guys have Nice Guy on at La Cienega,
yeah,
which is one of my favorite Italian restaurants in LA.
It's a great spot. I think food as like a historical aspect and like family aspect, social aspect, I think super important.
Yeah.
You know, like I always talk about the reason I was able to accomplish a lot of the stuff I did is I realized that restaurants and these sort of social gatherings are like the epicenter of a crossroads of like everyone.
Yeah.
So like a skater, a businessman, an actor, whatever, are all eating at the same restaurant, and it's like foods bring them all together.
For sure.
And I think it's super important. I mean, culturally, it's like how people like pass down their heritage and everything.
Zach, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Congrats. The new place is sick.
Thank you, man.
I wish I owned round 2 and I could have all these big chairs and shit like that. But you know, it's coming.
We got you.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Been a long day. Made some fun food. And, you know, we'll be back with another one sometime soon.